Hello YouTube, Camodo Gaming here, bringing you guys another episode of Scrap Mechanic in the Town. Now today, we finally have a power plant. This is something that you guys have been requesting for quite a while now, and it was always the question, like, how does Camodoville get power? And now we have an answer. This building or this facility is actually pretty massive, and if you're wondering where we are in the town, you can see the bus depot, there's the city hall from a couple episodes ago. So it's fairly far away from the main part of town. It's not probably as far as it should be. Now we do have some new roads here. You can see the roads running from the bus depot out this way, and they actually run along the railroad tracks here. So definitely really excited about today's episode. Now I do want something from you guys, and I always leave the naming of stuff up to you guys. It's just something I love to do because I get that little bit of interaction. I get to see what you guys are thinking. Now, obviously, I don't want to call it like Camodo Energy or Camodo Power. I would like an actual unique name, so the billboard is here. I will let you guys comment below with suggestions for what you want to name the power plant or the power company. But anyways, folks, remember, if you are enjoying Scrap Mechanic, leave this video a thumbs up. It helps out my channel a whole lot, and let's jump right into this. Alright, so you're probably wondering what this is to the right. This is the transformer station or transmission station, one or the other, not like Optimus Prime transformer. This is a completely different thing. These will be set up around town. This was made by GG Knight Gamer. It actually looks pretty cool. I like what he did with the bearings. Everything's kind of poked out. You'll probably have to put these in little fenced areas, so we'll probably set a couple of these to get power to the residents, probably maybe by the bus depot, and maybe further down by the neighborhood. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm not going to do actual power lines. That's a lot of pipe pieces. That could be a absolute nightmare and laggy mess if I was going to like run them from the power plant up the road and up the road over there. So yeah, we're probably not going to do that. We'll probably stick to these, and we'll just say that Camodoville's electricity is underground. So yeah, let's go ahead and walk up here. Now, I do warn you, the actual facility here is a little bit laggy. Once I step onto the platform, I will probably cut it somewhat in half. But for the video, just to make it look pretty, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, we're going to walk up in here. These are automatic gates, so if you hit the sensor on either side, you can see the arrow. So say we're coming in, we're going to trip the sensor here. And oh, tripped it too long. It's just a simple button sensor. So yeah, you just pass through it, and it's got a, I think it's like a 20-second timer. We can look in the gatehouse here. And then it should automatically come down. Now, there is a manual override here, so say if you want to do them yourself, you can always, I know some people play around on my maps or they play around on my builds. Somebody could set in here and actually control the gates with these two buttons here. So yeah, there's the control panel here in the background. There's the timers. And let's go ahead and walk out here. Most of these facilities, most of them I say, are really pretty tight on their security. You got to think, this is a power plant. There's a lot of potential for bad things to happen here. So this is probably pretty minimal on the security level. I'm pretty sure on most of these plants in real life, there's even more fencing, guards, and yeah, I've actually been in a couple of natural gas plants. A lot of people don't know, when I went to college, I went for petroleum. It's like a technology course, and we got to interact a little bit with plants, so I'm not completely lost here. Now, this is a coal plant, but I do know some of the procedures and some of the basics of it. So yeah, this out here, this is what we want to call the muster point. Now, normally this point would be a lot further away than here, but obviously for scaling reasons, I had to stick it right here. Now, this is a point every time you come into the plant, you sign in. There's normally like a little clipboard. You sign in and you stick it in the little mailbox here, and as you leave, you sign out and leave. This is also the point if something bad were to happen. Say an explosion, well, like I said, don't want to be this close, or some sort of leak. Everybody meets up out here, that way they can get like a head count and see if everybody actually escaped the plant. So yeah, you've got that, you've got probably some notices up here, you've got some things showing like, alright, this is what you're going to be dealing with, here's a map of the facility, here are your exit points. So that's what this little board's supposed to be here. So anyways, where to start? I guess I'm going to kind of walk you through the process. Like I said, it's not 100% accurate, it's not like, oh, I know exactly what's going on here. I was going off some diagrams, some pictures. So if I do get something wrong, say if we do have actual plant experts watching, which I kind of doubt we do, but if we do, trust me, I'm not 100% accurate here. So yeah, this is a coal plant here in Scrap Mechanic. You got our coal pile over here. This is our new vehicle. This is a Bobcat, and this thing's actually really cool. We'll go over this last. So yeah, the Bobcat's gonna pick up the coal here, stick it on the conveyor belt. You can activate the conveyor belt. It's gonna load everything up into the sorter and pulverizer. Now, this conveyor belt does not work. A lot of you know in Scrap Mechanic doesn't like two things: suspension pieces and bearings. And you can imagine how many bearings it would take to make this actually activate. And by the way, I do have a conveyor. Somebody sent me. We're gonna do viewer creations tomorrow, and it's gonna be a little bit more warehouse / industrial based like today. Somebody actually sent me some conveyor systems in a building that do work, and I'll show you kind of what I mean. But yeah, we don't have the bearings on here because this would make it probably where you couldn't even walk around on it. So yeah, the coal is going to come up here. This is the sorter pulverizer. It's going to smash down the product. It's going to come back through these pipes. A lot of times they don't have these conveyors like this. They have just some vertical ones, like these little scoops that would load it up. And it's going to get sent over to something called, I believe this is the boiler. And this is where several different processes happen. Between the mixture of water and these pipes, a lot of stuff's crossing over. And what happens here, this creates a whole lot of steam. And steam is actually what's going to go down and power the turbines and power the transmission station and generate electricity for the town. So yeah, this is what the boiler is supposed to look like. Now, these things are normally a whole lot larger than this. This is actually pretty large. It is hollow. There's no way to get into it. You wouldn't really need a reason to get into it. But I really like the way it came out. You can see all the pipes running in. They run into the top. You've got maybe this is the fuel mixture heating up portions of it. That's running in. The blue pipe, I've got some water tanks back there. That actually runs in there in the top. Alright, so what you have here to the left side, those are two stacks. Those things are absolutely massive, and I love the way they came out. Those are duplicated. I didn't build both of those and then put them up. I built one and then duplicated it and stuck the other one down. Those were a pain to get down. Scrap Mechanic does not like big objects when you're trying to weld it, so I was dealing with about 2 frames a second trying to get that into place. So yeah, I think that's like CO2, any emissions are going to come out of the stacks here. You see another stack over here. That's actually for the water vapor that's going to run out. And a lot of times you'll see like different smoke colors coming from different stacks at plants. Like the water vapor would be like a clearish, whitish, and whatever the heck's coming out of those. A lot of times, a lot of it's kind of exaggerated a little bit. You'll see in like a lot of games, it's like this really. I'm not saying that it's good because coal is still probably pretty dirty. You'll see like these big black clouds coming out of it. And a lot of times from what I've seen, it's a little exaggerated, but I think it's just there for effect. So yeah, that's the boiler. We're going to come down here. Now, all these guardrails, they are yellow, and that is for a reason. A lot of these plants, you get a little disoriented. When we went, it was pretty much like, you need to stay between the yellow lines. You need to avoid any other areas. Don't go wandering off. It's really loud. It's hard to get your bearings at times, depending on what machinery you're walking by. So that's what this platform's for. This is for the workers to come. A lot of times these machines will have gauges on them. They're constantly inspecting them, making sure everything's running right. So yeah, we're behind the stacks here. Here are the water tanks. Those are running pipes over there. Here's the water vapor tower. You can see pipes running into that. Now, what I probably need to do, a lot of times really strict safety-wise, any pipes that are on the ground normally, or pipes that are like at head level, normally are painted yellow because you don't want to hit them. It's like caution yellow, please don't run into this and hurt yourself. So I probably need to paint these pipes that are on the ground yellow. So yeah, we're gonna walk down here. Now, same with my, I think it was the Farmbot factory, I had these yellow lines painted. This is, once again, hey, stay between the yellow lines, not unless you are authorized to step off of them and go do stuff. So yeah, we're gonna come into here. This is the actual turbine / I think transmission, from what I read, station. It's got its own little fenced area here. Now, like I said, these are not 100% accurate the way they look. It's just kind of the thought that I'm going through, like, hey, this would look cool in Scrap Mechanic. If we're going to have a big power plant, which at first when I thought about it, I was like, how am I going to do a power plant in Scrap Mechanic? Like, what am I going to be able to do to actually fill this thing out? So that's what this is. You can see the pipes running through here. You got a couple little doors. Got to keep everything flowing here. And this is where the normally they have like, I think like a tower or a transmission, and that would go straight to the power lines. But obviously everything's underground here, so I don't have anything that's sitting outside of this. let's go up into the control tower here. Now, I almost forgot to put one of these in here. When I was building Moonbo, I was talking to Moonbo at the time, and he was like, do you have a control tower? And I was like, no, I don't. How did I forget this? So a lot of times, and we actually got to play around with these simulations. These are actually pretty cool. They'll have these computers set up that basically monitor the whole facility. You've got it on several different monitors. You're monitoring temperature levels, pressure levels, how full, like say if you have tanks, how full those are. And that's what this area is here. Now, he also has a very, very nice overview of the facility, so he can kind of keep track of where everybody is and make sure everybody's doing their job correctly. So you've got that. These are a bunch of dead switches. They do absolutely nothing. They're just here for show. I think it looks kind of cool. Say if you're up here kind of playing around, you can play with all the switches. There's a monitor, there's a radio, just in case something's happening. He can communicate with his workers. So yeah, nice little area up here. Now, initially, I wasn't going to put it right here. I was thinking, after I decided I'm going to build one, I was going to make a bigger one over to the side, but I don't know, this area was pretty empty, so I decided to stick it here. Now, this blue building here, obviously, every plant that I've been to has some sort of warehouse for storage, maintenance on vehicles, tools, and that's what this is here. The Bobcat does fit into it, so if you need to drive that into here, do some maintenance on it. It's got a little storage area here, a little table, radios, sinks, probably have some sort of first aid station here, maybe. So yeah, that was a pretty nice little building there. I'm kind of happy with the way that came out. But anyways, we've been over pretty much most of the facility here. One last thing I want to do, we want to play with the Bobcat. Now this is actually really cool. I like to, for the most part, I don't always do it. Like for the city hall, I didn't have a vehicle, but a lot of times if it's something like this, I want to have a vehicle that goes along with it. So we have a Bobcat. Now, of course, this thing steers by suspension glitches. You've got the engine on the back, two controllers, one controlling the arm, one controlling the bucket. This thing actually handles really nice. It feels like it's got tank steering, kind of like a, when you see these things move around, that's what it always looks like. They're just like on treads. Actually, I think they do make some of these on treads. Now, this is like the actual Bobcat brand, which uses the white with the red stripe on the side, or a lot of times the red stripes on the arm, and then of course, you got the black top to it. So yeah, the lights turn on with two here. You would come over here, scoop up some coal. Now, I'm pretty sure on bigger plant settings, from the pictures I've seen, the coal piles are huge, and they're probably using a lot more heavy machinery, but for our scale, this works absolutely perfect. It just makes sense. You can drive around on this platform with ease. You can go all over the place. At first, I had my big bulldozer on here, and that didn't make sense at all. Alright, so we're ready to load up here, so we're going to come over here, scoop some coal. I would have this all loose, but of course, lag. You're not going to be able to actually like go over here and deal with a bunch of little pieces flying around. So say he's got a big scoop of coal. He's going to come up here, lift the bucket up with one, and then we can use the other key here, and we dump it. So yeah, you'd be dumping on the conveyor belt. It goes up, and you're ready to go here. So yeah, let's make that go back down. So yeah, I do want to thank Mr. Non-Newtonian. He did help me build the little Bobcat here. It's pretty awesome, actually. It didn't take long either. It was a fairly quick little build, but it works fantastic. So let's go ahead, we're going to drive out of the facility real quick. Let's see, make sure I hit this sensor here. There we go. Whoa, whoa, okay. Well, apparently my gate's trying to kill me. What the heck happened here? Oh, you know what? I think I have something. It seems like that's a timer issue. My other timer works. Maybe, let's go ahead and set this on the other side. I'll get that fixed before I stick this up for download. Yeah, the timer didn't go off. I'll have to go back and check and see what happened there. Oh, okay, so let's go ahead and drive out here. But anyways, like I said, we're gonna put more of these transmission stations out. I'll put them in for future episodes. What we're gonna do though, next episode's gonna be a viewer creation. It's gonna be, I've been seeing some warehouses and stuff like that, so I feel like we're kind of in like a little bit of an industrial type of situation where we're gonna be dealing with warehouses, maybe some sort of factories. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of that. We'll check those out tomorrow. It's really, really awesome looking. I've actually checked a couple of them already out, just took a peek at them at least. So we'll do that. We'll set out some more transmission stations. Now, probably even Sunday, we're going to do probably another scrap mechanic. I've got a couple other games. Of course, yesterday we had My Summer Car and Brick Rigs. I still will be bringing those back to the channel, but I've got another build that I want to do in the truck stop world. So we're probably going to do that for Sunday. But anyways, folks, hopefully you enjoyed this episode today. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter than normal. Like I said, it's really just a cosmetic build, and there's not a whole lot to interact with in there. But I'm still really happy with the way the factory or the power plant came out. So anyways, folks, remember to like and subscribe. Everything helps my channel. Comment below with future suggestions for the town. I'm always open. I just felt like we really needed to get this one out of the way because this question comes up quite often about power in the town. Anyways, folks, hopefully you have a good day, and join us tomorrow for Scrap Mechanics. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you!